Welcome into Warchant.com and Warchant TV, where we're continuing our preseason FSU baseball coverage here. We've got a special treat for you all day. We've got a interview with Coach Jimmy Belanger, assistant coach and pitching coach for Florida State baseball, and his third season on the staff here with the Seminoles. And first of all, Coach, how are you doing? How great are you, or how excited are you for the start of the season in just a few weeks?
I'm doing great, and we're tying up loose ends right now, just making sure guys are ready to go, building up pitch count, and excited to get going with this group. It's a good group.
I know you were also at Kentucky. When you decided to leave there and join Florida State, what was kind of your connection to Mike Martin Jr. at the time, and and maybe some of your connections to FSU as well?
The coaching fraternity is pretty small, and tight. When I was at Maryland, we were in the ACC at the time, and we had played against Florida State, so I'd gotten to know Meat there, and then I knew Coach Bell really well, and then Chris Hart and Jason Jackson, who's a Tallahassee guy, who's the pitching coach at Alabama. So just there's a lot of Florida State guys out there, and there's a lot of guys that are connected to Florida State, and just being in the coaching world, just got to know Meat, and that was really the connection there.
I know folks want to hear about the 2022 team as well. Kind of dive right into that. How exciting is this group you've got coming back? Obviously, it's a loaded group, particularly with the pitchers. Just the overall excitement for this season start with the talent you have returning.
Yeah, I think we knew kind of some of the things that we had coming back on the mound, at the end of last year, what would be coming back. But I thought, Coach Metcalf did a really good job, and Coach Martin did a really good job of filling in some needs that we had, what we had lost positionally, because we had lost a lot of position players. And I think, defensively, I think we've improved. We added some really good bats in there, and, with some leadership and some older guys. And then we have a really good freshman group, so we think we addressed some needs that we needed to address. And then on the mound, if we stay healthy, we got a chance to have a good staff. We obviously we have, some guys with really good experience, and then we have some guys that maybe didn't pitch as much last year that are really talented, so anytime you got talent, you got a chance. So like I said, we got a long ways to go, but, we have talent in place, and we have some good leadership at the top. So we got a chance.
There's one big name to kind of start talking about, Parker Messick. How impressive has he been this offseason and improving? Coach Metcalf actually mentioned how, he strived to improve. What is his ceiling as a player? Does he have one? What can you kind of expect from him this year with as dominant as been last year?
He's just super consistent. You know what I mean? And as a coach, the guys that show up every day, what you're getting out of him every single day. He's a great leader. He's really good with our younger guys. He's always working to get better. So I wouldn't say there's a ceiling there. I think he's just going to always keep working to get better at things. But, his best trait is his competitiveness. He is an elite competitor, and he's got an ability, one of those, abilities you can't really teach, that he just wills himself to do things, so like if he's in a game and he doesn't have his best stuff, he'll just will himself to win a game. So that's obviously, you couple that with all the other things he does well. That's why he pitches on Friday nights here.
Well, I know it's exciting to bring someone like him, have someone like him coming back, possibly to be the Friday guy, but behind him with Bryce Hubbard, y'all have, a really solid number two guy. What have you seen from him this offseason, and how has he progressed?
He's really cleaned up his delivery. He's done a really good job with his mobility. That was something he really attacked. And I can really see the difference in that. And just early on, he's just thrown a lot more strikes. And, Bryce has really good stuff, and he doesn't usually get hit. His issues in the past last year weren't him getting hit around the ballpark. It was when he would get in trouble with his pitch count or just not commanding the ball very well. And he's addressed those areas, and he's improved in all those areas.
Definitely. What's it like having a top two like that? Both being lefties, does that what can that kind of do in that, that lefty righty matchup that that game you're constantly playing, with opposing teams?
Well, you can never have enough lefties, and I think with those guys, you just know what you're going to get out of them, and then we're fortunate where, once you get past those guys, in the bullpen, we have 3 or 4 other left-handers that have really good stuff that honestly could probably pitch in those roles if we need them to pitch in those roles, that we can match it up with teams. You know what I mean? So if it's a lefty heavy lineup, we have enough lefties to be able to match it up with them. If it's a righty heavy lineup, we got enough righties to be able to hang in there with them. So we can just do different things as long as we're healthy.
Certainly. I know it's behind them, there's been kind of a competition with that Sunday role and also with the midweek role still, what have you seen just from the overall group behind them, and how exciting is it just to have kind of a stacked deck to play with, and not be limited.
What I've noticed is there's a lot of guys that want it, and they're pushing for it, and I could see it, every time they go out and throw. I mean, these preseason outings are meaningful. They're not just going out just to get their pitch count up. They're trying to earn a job. So that's what I've seen. There's 4 or 5 guys that really want it, and we're going to have a tough decision, and there's going to be guys that are probably upset about it because they've pitched good enough, and other places they might be in that spot, but we have to do a good job of kind of getting their mind right and making sure that, we're doing what's best for the team.
What have you seen from Carson Montgomery, coming back this year? I know he, played a lot last season, but was a highly recruited guy. How has he progressed so far this offseason?
He's improved. He's added a cutter that's improved a lot. And then just within his delivery, he's just done some things where he's able to repeat a lot better, and his command's got improved.
Definitely. With Wyatt Crowell, is he someone that, you guys kind of envision will kind of keep playing, outfield and sometimes pitcher, or is he
No, he's just a pitcher now.
Really?
We did that last year just because we just had Reese got hurt, Albert, and we were striking out a lot, and we kind of we had him hit BP one day, and he swung the bat well, and he can really run, and we just wanted to change it up, and he kind of stuck out there. But he'll pitch for us. He'll just stick unless something crazy happens, but he'll just be pitching.
How excited are you for maybe what he's possibly brought? I mean, I know he's a guy that played a lot as a freshman as well.
Mm-hmm. He's probably the most talented pitcher on our staff. So, he's got a chance to be really special.
Really, definitely. Kind of looking at the bullpen, I know y'all bring back Jonas Scalaro. He's a guy that's, I think he's pitched almost 100 appearances. How great is it to bring back a reliever with as much experience as he brings?
You can't replace that. You could have guys with great talent, but when you're playing in leagues like the ACC and the SEC, experience is key. And he has a lot of it. So there's a lot of peace of mind as a coach being able to put him out there in a big spot, just because he's the moment's not going to be too big.
Kind of break down, with Jackson Baumeister. I mean, I know he's someone who's obviously a very highly touted recruit. Maybe kind of break down what you've seen from him since he's joined the team and begun working with y'all.
Well, Coach Burleson, our strength coach, has done a great job with him. He's put on dang near 30 pounds since he's been here, so he's a monster, and he just throws a lot of strikes. It's really good stuff, and he throws a lot of strikes. And we worked really hard to develop his changeup that's coming along for him, and he's going to pitch. He's going to be right in the fold. Just because guys that can go out there and fill up the strike zone and have good stuff, those guys get innings.
No doubt. With the pitchers in your group, so a little bit of a challenge this year with the loss of Matt Nelson at catcher. I know y'all have some talented guys coming up to replace him at catcher, but how can that kind of affect the pitching staff when you are breaking in a new catcher versus last year having someone with so much experience and someone playing at a high level like he did?
Yeah, you need great catching. I think I heard the quote from 11 years ago. It was like, if you have great pitching and good catching, you're going to have good pitching. But if you have good pitching and great catching, you got a chance to have great pitching. So the guy behind the plate is he's key. And Colton Vincent he handles our pitching staff tremendously. I mean, he's really, really, really good back there. I trust him. Our pitchers trust him. Brock Mathis, another guy we brought in, has a ton of college experience, and he's been seamless transition into what we're doing. And then you got Jaime Ferrer, who's a super talented freshman. I mean, as talented as they come, that's going to come along in his time, and he's going to be really good here. And then Sebastian Jimenez can pop back there. He just had an arm injury last year that he's still coming back from, but we're deep at the position, so we're fortunate, and our top two, those guys will be just fine. They'll handle our guys fine.
First pitch is against James Madison, Friday, February 18th at 6 p.m. Florida State getting set to start off their 2022 baseball season. Coach Belanger, I really appreciate y'all hopping on with us and talking a little baseball here with Warchant.com.
Thank you. Have a good one.